Welcome to Create Your Life, a podcast and vlog where you'll get an insider's view of a creative lifestyle. From finding your niche, inspiration, and motivation, to learning about new tools and innovations, this broadcast is about living your authentic self and embracing the creator in us all. I'm your host, Ann Bell, Amazon author of supernatural tales like The Secret of the Storm, The Fallen, and Exorcising the Past. However, I am also a researcher, visual artist, and an aspiring filmmaker. I invite you to join me as I allow you an insider's view of my creative world. I'll bring my own thoughts on various topics as well as engage other artists in interviews to tell about their own perspectives as we explore the art of creative living. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the things you need to know when you start out on this creative journey that you apparently want to take for yourself. I think that's probably why you're here. If you're like me, you work a day job that is the quintessential soul-sucking day job. And the truth is that you would be much happier if you were able to pursue more creative endeavors. For me, it's writing and filmmaking and all these lovely things that I have my hands in. But, for everyone it's different. And I don't care what your particular niche is. You may have to explore that. But there are some things that you need to keep in mind when you start out. The first is that this is a process and a journey. You need to be patient with yourself. You're not going to be perfect, especially right out of the gate with anything. But you also have to have some persistence to go along with that. Depending on your goals, you may need to invest some more time in learning or doing something than other people. You may find that you hit more roadblocks than others as you learn technique or you gather equipment or, there's all kinds of things in a creative field that can stall you and keep you from doing what you want to do. There are plenty of times that I find myself stuck. I can't even get the words out onto the screen because I'm blocked by something and I have to figure out what that is before I can actually move forward and move ahead. You have to keep in mind that all artists go through periods of difficulty. Great art was never achieved without great effort. Second thing you need to remember is that yes, it is going to require a dedication of time and resources. Yes, that means money in most cases. Now, no matter what medium you choose to work in, every artist needs the tools of the trade. So painters are going to have to invest in paint and pencils and canvas and easels and that sort of thing. Musicians are going to need to have recording equipment in studio space. Filmmakers, again, you're going to have somewhere to film. You're going to have cameras, and you're going to have storage and software and production equipment. And writers like me, well, we need computers, we need notebooks and pens, and we need software to make it easier. But we also need skill sets. Okay, so no matter what your niche is, no matter what you decide to try to do, you need to be able to invest time in yourself and your happiness by learning. Now, the good thing is that you're in control of those budgets. So no matter what your budget may be, you have the control to say, okay, I can spend this much out of my income on tools. So what's the most important thing for me to have first? What can I purchase next to help enhance what I'm already starting to do? Okay. So don't break the bank, especially when you're new at something, because you do have to learn how to use equipment and tools, and chances are you're going to grow as you go along, and you're going to find bigger and better things. So, set a modest budget at first and try something before you really sink a lot into it, because you may find you don't like it. And depending on your medium, some things are easier to offload and recoup your costs than others. So the next thing you need to remember is that you need to be open to possibilities and explore those possibilities without stretching yourself too thin. So I really recommend, and I know I talked about this a lot in my last video, but you want to give some thought to what you want to try. Now, for some people, this is more clear than others, and I suggest journaling, or at least having an internal dialogue with yourself where you sit down and you make some notes about what do you want to try? Why do you want to try it? What do you hope to get out of it? What emotion or feeling do you want to invoke by doing it? Once you have that list, I suggest trying classes first. Now, anybody can jump right in and go buy a bunch of stuff at Hobby Lobby, and then all of a sudden they don't think they're going to like it. Let's say instead of spending that $300 to set up your studio to paint, and I'm using that just as an example because that's about what I spend. But what if I just simply took $35 and went to something like Painting with a Twist and sat down and painted a painting in a few hours to see if it was something I wanted to do? Same thing is true with pottery. Same thing, music lessons, choir, theater productions. There's all kinds of ways to get involved in the arts, guys. And they don't all cost money. So check your local resources, your papers, we have a website that lists events and classes and stuff in the area here in Texas. So I definitely suggest giving that a try. And remember that even though you try something and you maybe don't like it, you're not stuck with it. You can change your mind, but it helps to have a direction to focus on first. Last but not least is that you have to remember that this is a journey. You're not in competition with anyone. It doesn't matter how old you are when you start. It doesn't matter where you are when you start. But the bottom line is that you have to embrace this part of yourself, and you have to just go for it. You have to take those steps. And remembering that there's no destination, it's not a race, there's no finish line, is important. In creative living, it really is about the journey that we take with it, because art, in all its forms, is a way to reflect on the things that are important to us. It's a form of expression. It can be a catalyst for change in ourselves and sometimes in the world around us. Sometimes it provides us with an escape from the harshness of our world and the things that are going on. And other times it helps us process things that are going on in life. Your journey with it is your own, and you hold the key to making whatever you want it to be a reality. There are always going to be critics, and there will be people out there who will never understand your work, your message, or your drive to change your life and live creatively. But the truth is that it isn't up to them to understand. Whether it's family, friends, co-workers, or people you've known for years as acquaintances. Sometimes it's out of jealousy. Sometimes they really just don't get it. While it would be nice to have them understand and support your journey, it's not always going to happen. And the only critic you really ultimately need to be concerned with is yourself. And yes, I realize that sometimes that can be the harshest critic of all. Thank you so much for listening, guys. If you haven't read any of my fiction work, I would love to have you give it a try. My latest release, Exercising the Past, is available exclusively as an ebook for Kindle, and it is free with Kindle Unlimited if you are a subscriber to that service. To find information on all of my books, services, and events, you can go to my website, annbellauthor.com. I will leave that linked below in the comments and in the description. You can also follow me on my blog, sign up for my newsletter, and join me over on social media platforms like Facebook and Twitter for now. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up for moral support. Even better, you can click on that little bell so you can be notified that as soon as I put up a new video or podcast. Feel free to connect with me and share these videos with your friends so everyone can benefit from the inspiration, and leave me a comment below letting me know what topics you would like to hear me talk about next. Thank you so much for listening, everyone, and I wish you well on your creative journey. We'll talk to you soon.